Alrighty, so today I am coming at you with never mind, I found it. Thought I put him up. With the second take of this Batman Mattel Justice League Batman. I need to flip that. I'm used to it being on the other side. But Mattel Justice League Batman figure, and this is kind of an ode to the fallen line of Mattel's multiverse figures. I am pretty pumped about some of the multiverse figures coming out of McFarlane soon. I just did a review on the first one I got, which was Batman the Animated Series Chase figure with the blue and gray. Speaking of blue and gray, I am just sick and tired of tactical looking Batman. All this just black and gray and armored, and it was cool when Nolan did it, but I could go the rest of my life without seeing that again. But with this Batman, I think Justice League did a good job, and I like Justice League personally. I would agree that Steppenwolf was kind of lame, but I like this Justice League. So I saw this figure, which is in a Build-A-Figure set for Steppenwolf. This guy right here. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they're $10 at Ollie's because the line wasn't moving, even though I could see how collectors might not like, because the articulation isn't... I mean, it's good articulation, it's just not very hidden. So if you have him kicking or something, it doesn't look as good because it's on a... I don't know what you'd call that, but it's not a ball joint. So it doesn't look as good as, say, this, which looks more natural. So this Batman figure's neat, and I finished up with The Dark Knight Returns about a couple of months ago. It was one of my summer reading activity things that for fun. So I finished it up, and I thought it was amazing. I personally like The Long Halloween better, but I also read that one, and that'd be a cool figure to get, actually. But, enough with that. So it took me forever to realize that this Batman is based off, and not specifically this suit, but this Batman is based off The Dark Knight Returns, with, one, him being older, two, the bulkier build, rather than the slimmer Batman that we usually see, and the more brutal Batman with the branding and whatnot, which I wasn't a gigantic fan of. Honestly, I forgot about it until I was watching a video with it in it a while back, because I choose to forget about Batman v Superman. Anyway, enough rambling about the movies. On to the figure. This figure is pretty cool. It's got, one, the blue and gray. Blue and gray it's amazing. I love the classic Batman, and he's probably my favorite. He doesn't look like a demon or anything when you first see him, but once like 5 guys are teaming up on him, and he's like, you can't tell he's wearing any armor, which you can on this, but if you're talking about just classic Batman, he's not wearing any armor, so, like, how's this guy still alive? Well, he's not a guy, which he is, but, you know, if you're ganging up on someone, and they're still destroying you, then, I mean, I would think that he wasn't a regular guy, and in Tim Burton's, which is my favorite comic book movie, you see he looks supernatural. Like, you take one look at him and you're like, that's not a human. Well, once you see what... And I'm not saying that not Tim Burton. The other Batmen aren't scary. I'm just saying, like, you don't see... It's a guy in a tactical vest until he beats you up. At which point, he is scary, but... he's a guy in a tactical vest. You can tell he's a guy. So, on to the figure. Again, I'm trailing off, and we're 4 minutes into video 5. But, you get armor, you get good detail on this figure. You get this armor plating over what looks to be the blue, which, again, I'm super excited about, and I'm going to obsess over in this video. It's still a very drab blue, but it's blue all the same. No yellow. I wish the studio would just say, screw it, and do yellow and blue, but we're yet to see it, which is kind of sad for me. Keep looking over this way. And then you don't get a ton of articulation as far as the arms and knees go, or the elbow and knee go, because it's only one joint right there, and then you get one joint here, but still pretty good. You lean forward here, you can't really lean back, but that's made up for by figure pretty good at limbo, as you can see. Now on to some complaints. One of the biggest things for me was the cape. So, that, it came in the way it was packaged. I even had this guy, I laid him out on something flat, not my carpet or anything, just like a box I had, and then put something heavy over it, and I left it. I just didn't play with it for a couple of days to see if it'd flatten it out, and it didn't, which it's not a huge thing, but in a figure that I really like, and I don't have a lot to complain about, it is huge to me. So it sits like that. That's not my favorite thing in the world. And then another thing is just, I wish those weren't molded onto his head. But that's just a little thing I wish. I don't think it's bad that they are. This is Batman from the end of the movie, and it might be the second best on-screen costume in my book, only behind Tim Burton's 1989 Batman suit, which I like a lot more than his whenever his Batman Returns suit. Just because, again, you look at him, he's like, oh god, that's a demon. And then, but you look at Returns, and it's a guy in more tactical armor. And some people like that, some people think it looked better, and the way he moves was better, but I thought that was just part of the thing that made him look not human. And so I'm just not a huge fan of grounding everything, but that's just me. So this figure, not a whole lot to complain about. Very excited for the way the multiverse is going. I ended up talking about movies more than figures, actually, on this, but very excited for the way the multiverse line is going and the multiverse movies are going. In both Marvel and DC, though I think DC's going to overtake them, overtake Marvel, that is, in the movie industry pretty soon, if they keep it going like it is. But we'll just have to see with Flashpoint and The Batman, it's not just Batman, with The Batman and Robert Pattinson, he's looking pretty promising. I like Batfleck a lot. I also like Ben Affleck's Daredevil, which I was looking at that figure. That's the Toy Biz over there. You can't see it, but I've got him up on my wall over there because my dad had him. And one thing I just forgot to mention is that chin. Now, maybe it'll come back into focus. Okay, the light's there we go. That just, to me, and it might be harder to see, just looks just like Ben Affleck's chin, which is kind of weird, but it's, and you only see half his face, but that half of the face you see is a really good sculpt. And the whole head is, but just likeness-wise, that chin looks very on point. Not very pointy, though. So that's all I have for this video. I think my next one will be on some of the Toy Biz, speaking of Toy Biz, the Toy Biz, like, classic Marvel figures. So I'll have to get those out soon and do one on them. So very excited for that. Very excited for the multiverse, both the line and the movies. And that's all I have for now. Maybe it's not. It just depends.